only at AutoZone.
Today, Los Angeles is famous for its sprawl, a city without a center. But in the 1920s and 30s, downtown was the heart of it all. And the banks and bars stayed open all night long. When Prohibition hit, the party kept going. They just moved it underground into a secret network of speakeasies. There were no worries about getting busted because crooked cops and big-time politicians were running the show. Back in the 1920s, the place to be in Los Angeles was around 5th and Main. Palatial hotels, swanky saloons, and million-dollar theaters were all crowded into a 10-block radius. Downtown LA is the original Los Angeles with all these vintage hotels and theaters. I'm meeting with Richard Shave. He's an expert on everything downtown, everything underground. Richard, how you doing?
Good to see you, Don.
You too.
Welcome to old downtown Los Angeles.
Right. This is the glory days right down here.
Main Street was where everything happened.
If you peeled up this modern intersection, you'd find the remnants of a vast subterranean hive dating back to 1910, when horse-drawn wagons crowded the dusty streets. To avoid the chaos above ground, 70 miles of service tunnels were built, connecting the basements of all the major hotels. But just 10 years later, they became the perfect setup for illegal drinking dens. The basement of this modern-day bar, the King Eddy Saloon, was the center of LA's seedy underworld. This saloon in Prohibition, what was it?
Well, it wasn't a saloon because it was illegal to run a bar. It became a piano store.
Oh, really?
So
Which was a front?
the Speakeasy was downstairs, so you'd go in to look at a piano and go through the back and down the stairs this way.
Okay. Once a speakeasy, always a speakeasy, huh? A lot of these places, these speakeasies, would use their delivery chutes as the entrances to the place. So that's how people got down sometimes. And this is the entrance here, the cloakroom. You would have talked to this guy here, and then back here you would have maybe used the special knock, who knows. And in you go. 90 years ago, this shabby basement was crowded with LA's elite thrill seekers, breaking the law. This is a bar, like other bars, but they're all underground.
They're all underground. They're pretty makeshift.
Mm-hmm.
They painted these murals to give a little decor. You would come in, and there'd be, of course, a police officer down here to make sure you didn't bring your own liquor.
What do you mean, a police officer?
The police in Los Angeles ran the racket for bootleggers.
In most East Coast cities, the mob cashed in on Prohibition and made a killing serving booze. But in Los Angeles, the chief of police functioned more as the chief of the rackets. Most cops were in on the action, and the corruption went all the way to City Hall.
Several mayors throughout Prohibition were absolutely knee-deep, to the point where Mayor Frank Shaw's brother was the one in charge of receiving all the monies for gambling, prostitution, bootlegging.
In 1929, revenue from bootleg liquor sales in Los Angeles County was $35 million. It was common practice for the mayor's office, the chief of police, and the cops to take a 15 to 20% graft. The bigwigs would kill to protect their piece of the action, and that brought them down. The chief of police was arrested after he tried to murder the man investigating his dirty department. The scandal toppled the mayor, who was recalled from office for his part in these criminal enterprises. After Prohibition ended in 1933, many of the tunnels were sealed and the scandal forgotten for decades. But almost 90 years later, Richard could still point me towards evidence of high-powered corruption. What is this all about?
They store the beer and they store the food.
Look, it's a drink.
It's a keg.
The foam on a beer. Whoa, look at that. and there's a cop on it.
Making sure that you're not bringing your own liquor.
Look at this. You got a cop talking to a guy right here saying, no, that's a bad idea. You've got to drink my booze, not yours.
Because they were used for nefarious purposes, no one kept a detailed map of the downtown tunnels. But the basement of this Skid Row bar was definitely connected to that shadowy world.
Look at this. I mean, this is wild. This is the decoration for this entire place, all a big painted mural. And down below are all these tunnels all throughout Los Angeles. So this particular one, this door here, may very well go through to one of those tunnels, but he's going to get the building manager to see if he can open it up.
Don, this is Bill. He's the manager.
Do you know this door?
No, I've been here 30 years. It's the first time I've seen it.
No kidding. Do you mind if I give it a shot?
Give it a shot. Well, you may be running across a brick wall.
Yeah, that's not moving. All right, that is stuck.
The door was a dead end. But after 80 years, the walls themselves are crumbling and revealing a bootlegger's paradise.
Hold that, would you? Oh, yeah, there it goes. So you can see the next basement is right there. And there you go. You're right through to the next. Jeez. It's another hallway this exact size.
Right.
Leading straight down the street.
Which extended itself all the way through Pershing Square.
That is pretty amazing.
We broke out the SWAT kit to get a glimpse of LA's lost underworld.
That's my worst angle. This is the wall right in front of me. So let's just stick this camera right through this hole and see what we see. There we go. You see? This is great. Going in there. Oh yeah, you can see. So that's the underground of the building next door. And it's even bigger than the one we're in here. And so you can figure that keeps going all the way, they say, to the Biltmore Hotel, all the way to the City Hall. This entire thing is connected.
It looks like a basement and a hallway, but this is part of a vast web of tunnels, almost completely forgotten now.
I mean, you had the mayor, the City Hall, chief of police, wealthiest guys in town running this racket. You know, up on the streets, solid citizens. Down here in the tunnels, a life of crime. LA is all about appearances.
Up next, a maniac hunts for a portal to the underworld.
Charles Manson is looking for this twisted, mystical world inside this canyon.
The thing about the underground is, the deeper you go, the better it gets. Go to history.com/cities for exclusive video.
Serving my country. I betrayed my conscience.
On December 25th,
We have to kill Hitler.
the only man who can stop evil
We need an assassin.
is on the inside.
I'll do it myself.
Tom Cruise. Valkyrie.